Hey everybody, this is Nojo from Thranda Design. Today we're looking at the fuel system on the Cessna Caravan. So we're looking at the Grand Caravan right now, but both the Caravan 675 and the Grand Caravan have exactly the same fuel system. So each wing has a fuel tank, and you can see the fuel filler caps here, one for the left wing and one for the right wing, and the tank extends kind of through the entire wing here. Each wing can contain 165 US gallons of Jet A. I know I was parked next to the avgas fuel, so don't fill your Caravan with avgas. But 165 gallons for a total usable capacity of actually 332 US gallons. That's 2,224 pounds. At about 350 pounds per hour, that gives you roughly 6 hours of flight time. So that's quite a bit. So let's pop inside the plane real quick. Boop. In here, the fuel flows from the wings up to the ceiling. We have these fuel tank selectors switches on the overhead panel, one for the left tank and one for the right tank. Each of these is just a two-position switch, off or on, and so that'll control which tank the engine's burning from. Now the fuel flows through these tank selectors down into a reservoir fuel tank, which is only a 2-gallon tank, and it's provided just to make sure that the engine always has something to pull from, and that's kind of down there. So the main fuel tanks are indicated, the wing tanks are indicated on these fuel gauges here. The reservoir tank does not have an indicator. These gauges require battery power, so let's turn on the battery. There we go, and we see the gauges come alive. Now in the pop-up window, we can control how much fuel we have on board. If we go to the weight and balance tab, and then these two things here, we can left-click on each tank to fill it, or we can scroll the mouse wheel to finally adjust how much fuel we have on board. Now we also have several indications on the Enunciator panel related to the fuel system, so let's take a look at those next. We have several different enunciations on the Enunciator panel that's related to the fuel system. The first one you might notice is this fuel pressure low. It simply means that the fuel pressure available to the engine is low. It's below about 5 psi. Next, this Aux Fuel Pump on, we have an auxiliary electric boost pump. And if I turn this to norm, we'll notice that pump is flashing on and off, and you might be able to hear it starting and stopping. The reason this is happening is because the engine's not running, so as the aux pump brings the fuel pressure up above its cutoff point, then it turns off, fuel pressure drops below 5 again, the pump comes on, it repeats. So if that's happening, we can simply set it up to the on position, and that runs the fuel pump continuously, and this is what's used for engine start. Let's turn that guy back off. So next, we have reservoir fuel low. That indicates that little 2-gallon reservoir tank, the quantity's down to about half, so it's only got 1 gallon available to the engine, which is only a couple minutes of flight time. Next, we have left fuel low and right fuel low. So these come on when the fuel quantity in that tank is below about 160 pounds. And that is true for both of them. And then finally, fuel select off. So this one, it's actually a warning, and it comes on in a couple different cases. If we do a lamp test, we're going to hear kind of a siren sound. That beeping is the fuel select off warning. So the first case this comes on, if the battery's on and we turn both selectors off, we get that warning. Make it stop. And the next one, if one of the fuel quantities is low, we'll make the right fuel quantity low. Then if we turn off the left fuel selector, that means the only tank we're pulling from has low quantity. And so we'll get that warning. And then, finally, regardless of fuel state, if we engage the starter with one of the selectors in the off position, it'll give us the warning. There we go. So those are our warnings. Now, the last little bit, we also have down here on the center console, the fuel shutoff, pull off, and that right there, used for emergencies, will shut off all fuel to the engine. So usually that's in case of a fire. So I hope you enjoyed this quick look at the fuel system of the Caravan. Join me on the next one and we'll take a look at some more systems. Thanks.